How's it going, everyone? Sir Douglas of the Argos Fancast here. And today, I have to offer a little bit of an apology and an explanation. First of all, I've had both a medical issue, a health issue, and a technical issue on my end here. And as a result, well, as you can see, there hasn't been an upon sober review for neither the Ottawa game 2 weeks ago or the Edmonton game from last week. Pretty much, I'm just gonna sum both games up in one very short sentence. Don't switch off in the fourth quarter. Enough said. Now I know that there has also been an awful lot that has happened since we last spoke. So I'm just gonna go full stream of consciousness here and just keep on spouting off stuff here. So, this episode's gonna be a little different, but just bear with me because this is the first time I've been able to do it in a while. So, anyway, the Argos had their awards candidates announced. Um, you have Kadeem Carey for Most Outstanding Player, Deshaun Amos for Most Outstanding Defensive Player, Liram Hiralahu, most outstanding Canadian, Ryan Hunter, most outstanding offensive lineman, Janarian Grant, most outstanding special teams player, and Mackay Polk, most outstanding rookie. I have no disagreement with any of this list. Not at all. Mackay Polk had a fantastic season, thousand yards in your rookie year. That's pretty darn good. That's actually fantastic. Um, Now, as for the players that I see that could be taking home silverware here, um, Janarian Grant is the first one that springs to mind because I don't think anybody else has had the output that he has had on special teams this past season. Um, Mackay Polk maybe has a chance, but that depends on the other rookies that the other teams bring up. But I mean, everybody else for at least the Argos side, it looks good. I still think overall league wise, Brady Oliveira is going to get MOP this year. Doesn't matter what anybody else did. Basically, based off of what happened last year because people say he got hosed because Chad won it and then everything sprung to light with him. So I think they're just gonna give it to Brady by default. So just to kind of appease him and to appease the fan base. Season's tickets. I know some people. I know there's a lot of awful. There were some people that were a little miffed that the prices went up. I'm gonna tell you this. It's still better than Rogers Center pricing. And it's still the least expensive sports entertainment ticket you can get in the city of Toronto. I mean, the price of everything has gone up. It's not just like, yeah, the price of everything has gone up. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I know for me, I sit in the end zone. I compared it to 2016 when we first moved in, and there's a $9 difference downward for 9 games plus playoffs. So really, I'm not going to complain too much. I know an awful lot of people are going to complain because, well, that's what most of the older Argo fans do. So, oh well. If you don't like it, call up the Argos and complain. Otherwise, whatever. Let's see what else. The East Division named their All-CFL team. See, now this kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. Why the hell did they change it from All-CFL All-Star Team to All-CFL Team? Why they do that? Anyway, So the Argos, and quite a few Argos got on this list for the East Division All-CFL team. Kadeem Carey got running back. Mackay Bulk got wide receiver. Dejon Allen got tackle. Ryan Hunter got guard. Jake Serezna defensive tackle. Deshaun Amos got defensive halfback. Liram Hiralahu kicker. John Haggerty punter, and Janarian Grant returner. That's an awful lot of Argos, considering that we just barely finished second. Just goes to show you that we do have a good team, whether people like to admit it or not. So we're still kicking. So. Oh, and if you're wondering who got quarterback, it was Bo Levi Mitchell. But I'm not surprised. I mean, he put up a 5,000 yard year in spite of Scott Milanovic. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? I think there's going to be a little bit of turbulent waters ahead for Hamilton. And the last really big piece of news was that Randy Ambrosie is going to be stepping down as commissioner. After 7 years on the job, he's deciding, you know what, it's time for somebody else to come in and take over. Personally, I think he did an okay job, but two things really stand out, and two things really damned his tenure. First of which is not being able to get that 10th team out in the Maritimes. Even though 90% of the country lives in between Quebec City and Windsor, not getting that team in the Maritimes. I know that was a big party piece of his, and he couldn't get it. So that was one thing that kind of soured his tenure. And the other thing was the whole hat in hand in front of a parliamentary committee looking for COVID money, and CFL got told to pound dirt, essentially. So I think the owners might have had enough of him because of that. So because they had to use their own money as opposed to trying to bilk the public purse. But I mean, that's whatever. But yeah. So the end of Randy. He's going to still be on the job until a successor is named. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon. He'll more than likely be part of the Fans State of the League coming up in a couple of weeks in Vancouver. He'll still be a part of that, I think, and everyone will be, and he'll be able to say goodbye to the fans properly, at least at that point. So that's that. But the biggest thing out of all this is obviously, well, one, the Argos are hosting the East semifinal, and that's coming up this coming Saturday, November the 2nd, 3 p.m. start. Tickets are at argonauts.ca. Go get them. I don't think they're going to be lasting very long. And all the Argos have to do, at least in my opinion, is just play a complete game. Don't do what you did against. Basically, don't prolapse, and play a full 60-minute game, and you've got this in the bag. That's all I've got for that. So that's pretty much going to do it for this little stream of consciousness rambling apology sort of video. If you want to know what the upcoming schedule's going to look like, at least if you're looking to watch me here on YouTube, it starts with, there's going to be instant reaction and upon sober review coming up for this game against Ottawa. If necessary, which I sure as hope it is necessary, I'm going to be doing also instant reaction upon sober review for the East final as well. And I will be having a watch along live stream for that game as well, and probably the West final on top of that. So I don't know if I'm going to do, I don't know if it's going to be two separate ones I'm going to do, or I'm just going to have one big old, it'll probably be two separate ones I'm going to do. So once the East ends, shut that down, turn on and go to the West, turn that one on, and then we find out who the Grey Cup matchup is going to be. And then at the end of all that, then after that, it will be basically, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And also keep an eye on the YouTube shorts, because that is where the majority of the content for the upcoming the Grey Cup Festival is going to be. I'm going to be going to the Grey Cup Festival this year in Vancouver. So just keep that in mind. So keep an eye on the shorts, because that's where they're going to be. And then when I return, so there will be an instant reaction to the Grey Cup game, and then to close out the 2024 season, there will be one final upon sober review for the big Grey Cup matchup. And that will close out the 2024 season, and then at that point I'll just post whenever something majorly Argos-centric or league-centric pops up. So things like schedule release, free agent frenzy, the draft, training camp, all the way through from the end of the season all the way up to the start of May 2025, when we get the 2025 season underway in 6 months or so. So that's the upcoming schedule. And that's pretty much going to do it for me here. Throw a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you for the instant reaction on Saturday around 6:30 p.m. I guess that's when it's going to happen. So until then, see you later, everyone. Have a good night.